guys, JB here. I've already made a video explaining why I started this channel. I wanted to make a community of like-minded individuals who are looking to advance their art without having to spend a fortune. Now that money that you would spend not only comes in on an education, but also the equipment that you use while you're drawing. So when I got started drawing, I used an Intuos tablet. I've upgraded now to an iPad Pro, which is pretty much my daily user. And then at companies like Cartoon Network, I've used Wacom Cintiqs. But when I sent that message of looking to save money, I was actually contacted by a company called Parblo. They make products pretty similar to Wacom, but at a fraction of the price. So they sent me an item and they wanted me to review it, which is actually the item in this box here. Essentially, it gives you the functionality of a Cintiq at the price of an Intuos tablet. So, without further ado, I'd like to do an unboxing, review, and demonstration of the Parblo Coast 22. Before I get into the specifics of how the product works and how to set it up, I just wanted to do a quick unboxing to show you what actually comes in the box. Now, I've heard from other reviews and from the company themselves, they like to save money by doing things very unbranded. So they don't pay extra for fancy packaging, for their logo to be on everything, but they still offer you a nice high quality product for a nice low price. So I'm not expecting too much as far as branding goes when I open this up, but I know that it's going to be a very high quality product. So like I've seen in other videos, they do a box-in-box packaging, which helps keep it protected while it's shipping. So I'm just going to take out this inner box real quick. And then we're left with this here. Now turning this around, we have some notches to get it open. Again, no Parblo branding, in fact, no branding of any kind on the outside of the box. Let's get that open. It's a pretty generic box. Get it open here, and then here are our products on the inside. Starting with the first thing, it's like a little carrying case or a cover so that when it's not in use, it doesn't have to collect dust. So that's a nice little feature to add to it. And then jumping straight into it, first thing you can pull out of here is the actual Coast 22 with some information on top. Looks like this is a screen protector. I'm just going to set that aside and then we'll get back to that. On top is a box, which I'll open in just a little bit. So I'm going to set that aside as well. And then, again, this is the monitor itself, also you can set aside. Inside the box, we also have a couple of extra little goodies. The first is going to be a mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapter. The next is going to be a cleaning kit. So this should have a bottle of fluid, a cleaning cloth, and it looks like the gloves to clean it with as well. So a couple of cleaning gloves. And there we go. A cleaning cloth and a cleaning solution. Next, inside this package is going to be a drawing glove, much like the one that I'm currently wearing, which is something that I just normally wear when I am getting ready to draw. So this one is almost identical, if not, oddly enough, if not exactly the same as the one that I'm currently wearing, with the exception of this one having the Parblo logo on the outside. So that's a fun little feature. If you don't already have a drawing glove, it is included. Next is going to be this little box, which I will open up. This has all your cords and your installation information, it looks like. So your generic power cord. This is going to be from the wall outlet to a power brick. This is your power brick itself, which will plug directly into the monitor. Next is going to be a data cable. So this is your USB cable, which lets you actually use it as a drawing cable or drawing tablet instead of just as a monitor. Next is an HDMI cable, a DVI cable, a little box here which has the stand for the stylus. Inside of this should also be a few extra nibs and a ring for removing the existing nibs, much like they are packaged for the Wacom stylus. So there you go, there's your extra nibs inside. in this little box should be the stylus itself. And then before I go on too much, I just wanted to hint on a couple things about the stylus. So I've already looked into this product before I received it, and I know a couple of things about the stylus that were very exciting to me. First off, the stylus does have a button on the front, which looks like a front and a back rocker button. The grip is triangular, which is designed to fit the actual curvature of the fingers, because your fingers make a triangle when you're holding it. So it should have a nice comfortable grip. And it has a battery-free back, which means it can allow for an eraser instead of having to have a plug in the back to charge a battery. So this stylus is very much like the one that Wacom is going to include in their Cintiq products, because it doesn't need to be charged and it doesn't need a battery. It's also very lightweight, which I wasn't really expecting, because a lot of the styluses that I've used that do have batteries in them do get pretty heavy. The only thing else that's inside of this box is going to be a completely blank CD, which is going to have your drivers on it. Now, I'm not actually going to use the CD to install, because from what I've read, this only includes the 32-bit installation software, and I have a 64-bit system on my computer, so I'll be downloading the drivers directly from the Parblo website. Moving on from there, I am going to take a look at this hunking behemoth of a machine right here, and we can get a quick idea of what this is like. So before I move on to that, I'm just going to clear my desk and we'll move on. Alright guys, here it is, fresh out of the packaging. As you can see, it's a nice wide display, so you don't ever have to worry about running out of space. It also has an adjustable stand on the back of it, so you can change the viewing angle, and because this is an IPS display, you don't have to worry about changing that angle and then messing up your picture quality. A lot of standard displays or TN displays, like the ones on either side of me here, will change in darkness if you adjust the viewing angle too much. So if you're not comfortable sitting here and you'd rather more flat setup, you don't have to worry about getting a darker picture. You still get a nice vivid image on the other side. I'm just going to pick this up and then show you a couple of different ports on the sides of it here. So the very first ones on the bottom are going to be your USB and your power. What that's going to allow for is to actually connect the pen to your computer. If you connect just the top portions here, either your VGA, your DVI, or HDMI, you'll still get a picture, but the pen won't actually work. Over here on the other side are going to be your settings. So your power options in the middle, and then you have your menu options, and then your plus and minus, so you can actually set the brightness, the contrast, the aspect ratio, all that fun monitor stuff. And then you saw me actually pull on the stand, or adjust the stand over here on the back. That's because this has a fully adaptable monitor stand on the back, so all you have to do is pull up on this little silver knob, and then you can adjust the monitor to whatever height works best for you. As I mentioned before, I'm not going to be using the CD to get the drivers installed. So what I did is I just went to parblo.com/support, went to the Coast 22 section, and then clicked on Parblo Coast 22 for Windows, because I'm using a Windows device currently, which brought me this zip file. I'm just going to extract this to my desktop for now, and then I will close out both of these to install the drivers in English. Accept the terms, click install to begin, and then I just have to wait for this part to install. Alright, so now that it's installed, I'm just going to click yes, I want to restart my computer now, and we'll pick up in just a moment. Okay, now that I've actually gotten the drivers installed, I went ahead and restarted my computer just so you can see now I actually have options to change the tablet settings. On the main screen, you can adjust the pen settings, so the pen pressure. You do that by adjusting this little knob down here in the corner. That's going to change the curve on top so you can see which way you want to adjust your settings. I actually like mine fully maxed out. I've already played around with this a little bit, which is going to give you the option to go from nice thin strokes to nice thick strokes pretty seamlessly. And go ahead and clean that off. So now that's at 200, which is going to be the max settings here. I'm going to go to the mapping screen, On here I have 3 monitors, so make sure that these lines are going towards my central monitor, which it is, and then I'm going to click calibrate down the bottom. This is going to gray out the screen and it's going to set these little targets in the corner. All you have to do is tap on the center of those targets with the pen, click OK, and now your pen should be calibrated correctly. It'll now know exactly where you're intending to touch when you actually touch the pen to the screen. From here, I'm going to go ahead and open an instance of Photoshop and see how it works. So this is a version of Photoshop CC. I'm just going to open a brand new layer, and then up here on my brush presets, we're just going to make sure that shape dynamics is actually touched and that pen pressure is what's controlling it. Now that that's done, I'm just going to get a regular round brush and then test out very, very light strokes, very heavy strokes, and then a couple of diagonal strokes, just so you can see how it actually holds up when you're using it. So it's pretty smooth. There's very, very little lag when you're using it. So I've been pretty happy with how it works. But I'm also going to test this out in Manga Studios because some retailers do actually bundle the Coast 22 with a copy of Clip Studios or Manga Studios, which is the same program. So I'm going to go over here to Manga Studios. This is also a brand new blank document. I'm picking the G pen, which already actually has pressure sensitivity built into it, and then I have it set to a 250 size brush, so I can do very, very thin strokes, or if I want to, I can press as hard as I want and go up to a 250 stroke. So it lets you have a very wide gamut as far as how sensitive the brush is, and personally I think it actually works a little bit better in Manga Studios. You have much more fluid lines, and then your lines do taper off a little bit better than they did in Photoshop. But either one of them actually works really well. This one, to me personally, just works a little bit better. Now that you've kind of seen how it works, I'm going to actually go to a screen recording and do a quick sketch for you just to see what it's actually capable of. Alright guys, so I hope that gave you an idea of what the Parblo Coast 22 is capable of. Obviously I just made a really quick sketch. I didn't want to take too much time, but it does act exactly like a Wacom 22 HD. It's the same size. The only differences really are that it doesn't have quick panel buttons, so there's no panel or ring display on the side. But as far as the picture quality goes, I mean, it's fantastic. It is very true to color, and it's an IPS display. I can't really complain, especially because currently on Amazon the Coast 22 is coming in at $569. If you want to get it with a copy of Clip Studios or Manga Studios, it comes in at $593. And if you were to get a Wacom Cintiq, you're looking to pay about $1,700. So there's definitely a pretty big price disparity. Is it worth it to me? If you're going to be using the Clip Studios program, then absolutely yes. If you're going to be using Photoshop, I mean, if you're doing more basic things, then I'd probably say yes. If you're going to be doing more advanced things, I might spend a little bit more money, but it works great on Clip Studios, or in this case Manga Studios. And if there are any other complaints, I can't think of them. So that's been a little bit of a review, unboxing, and demonstration of the Parblo Coast 22. If you have any other questions about the product, or if you're interested in other products similar to it, leave me a comment in the section below. You can reach me anytime on Twitter or Instagram as well. And for more videos like this, or for tutorials on how to draw or quick speed paints, you can subscribe to my channel. I put out videos as often as possible. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.